Hey guys, this is Sean McGarry coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Music Salon where great things happen. Hope everyone's doing well. Today I want to talk about a cool little concept to practice for phrasing. It involves switching keys. Now this is seemingly a simple little thing here, and it is, but it's actually a really cool thing for the ear and for phrasing. So I want to talk about this. And when I was playing, and you can really do this in any key with majors, minors, I like this little vamp here. So it's an A minor 7. And if you're not familiar with the shape, I'll show you. It's all on the same fret. So like here's my root A. So I'm going 5. I'm skipping over the D string and going to the G string. You could even add the minor 9 if you like. Right? So minor 7 is without, minor 9, either one doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just playing this little vamp, like a kind of a funky. Then go up 1/2 step. Back down. Okay. And what you want to do is kind of get the ear used to hearing that half-step change. It's going to sound weird at first, but it's really cool. Now I'm just going to start with minor pentatonic and do something real easy. So let me get this loop going here. Now watch this. I'm going to just keep it real basic. I'm going to play in that box right there, so check it out. Same lick. Back down. So let's start right there. I want to talk about phrasing a little bit. So this is the idea, this is the concept behind the lesson. And these are real simple riffs, nothing crazy here. And you're going to try and repeat these. Repeating riffs are a great way to practice and really build your vocabulary and your repertoire. You know, every guitar player. I asked a buddy of mine. He plays in a Pink Floyd tribute band, and he plays in. His name's Jimmy Griffin. I'm gonna name drop him. He plays in El Monstero in St. Louis, Missouri, and Celebration Day. He's a phenomenal guitar player, one of the best I know, one of my inspirations. He's done so much, but he's actually just happens to be in these two tribute bands that are huge. And I was asking him, I was like, man, is it hard to memorize all those licks and stuff, the Page stuff and all the Gilmore stuff? I couldn't remember all that. And he said, man, he's like, every guitar player has 5 riffs. And if you can get those 5 riffs down, it's just variations. And that kind of stuck with me. And it's kind of true. I think if we all take a look internally at what we do at ourselves, we all have a few riffs that repeat, and if you don't, it's time to accumulate those riffs and start gathering some. So here's a little basic riff, that I hear a lot. I hear a lot because I play it, so check it out. If I'm playing over the first chord here, I'm going to play it one more time in context. Right, something like that. Grab your guitar if you don't already have it and play this lick with me, right? And all these riffs I'm going to play, you should be able to hum. Modulate. Tag. Right? So then you start just changing them a little bit, add little stuff to it. And man, this is the key to phrasing, okay, for me, okay, there's guys out there that are just monster players and stuff, and for me, I got to keep it somewhat simple, man. I can't hang with some of these cats that are just all over the neck, man. I just try and keep it my little world. I stay in my lane, and my lane involves simple ideas, okay, simple concepts. So again, if I'm playing, and by the way, I like repeating licks, I do it a lot, and another name I like to throw out there is John Frusciante from Red Hot Chili Peppers. He does a lot of solos where he repeats things. And I've always, I've said that, I say it to myself and my students, it's like, why are people in such a hurry to get onto the next riff? If you play something cool, repeat it, right? Especially when you're soloing, man. There is no rules that says you have to, it's like money. Why would you want to spend all your money at once, Spend a little money here, spend a little money there, right? Kind of the same thing. So same thing with these riffs, and it really helps you develop a sound or a theme. And I use the word motif a lot. And a motif is something you can develop, like a little melody, and come back to it. So anyway, a little long-winded, right? You know that was coming. But that riff, I'm going to play it one more time. You know, I'm just at the end. The fourth one, I'm just tagging it, okay? Just playing a little something different. And again, I don't know why. I practice things in 2s and 4s. But you can do whatever number you want, whatever works for you. It just seems to be the magic number for me. Okay, so that was one idea. Now the other idea is like to play a riff, okay, going one way and then come back the other way. Let me show you what I mean here. See if I can come up with something cool here. See. So I think I'm a little farther than I wanted to go, but like I played a little lick straight out of the scale, pentatonic. Right, hitting that A note, and as soon as it goes to the A sharp, I move up 1 fret, and now I'm thinking my whole box. Sounds weird, right? But that was the note you want to hit. So I went, you know, let me play in context. So I'll go. Right here. You know, it sounds a little weird at first. You know, it can anyway. So I'm, you know, I ended up right here. And when it goes down, I just go back 1 fret to back into my key of A minor. So, you know, that's the idea. That's the principle behind this. I might even go to another key. To G. Just, I mean, it can be nonsense, but it's a really good exercise, like I said, just for phrasing. Now, speaking of phrasing, let's talk about some other ideas here. Okay, now if I think of like, you know, instead of just minor pentatonic, we'll add the natural minor in, right? So if we had the B note in, we got this sound. So let's see here. Real simple. Cool sound. In my book, it's a cool sound. But I'll do these little, again, this is about phrasing, right? So now I'll go, and these are just little exercises that translate well to phrasing when you're in the heat of battle, when you're improvising, right? So now if I go, right? It's all these, the sequences. That's a cool little lick, you know. And I grew up in the era of George Lynch, Paul Gilbert, Yngwie, when, you know, I'm kind of glad those days are over, to be honest, because, you know, there were some monster players, and there was a point in time in my life where I wanted to play like that now. It'd be nice to be able to do it, but I wouldn't play like that all the time, that's for damn sure. My styles have changed and my tastes have changed, which I think should happen if you're a musician. But I definitely have a spot in my heart for that kind of playing, because it's very technical and very precise. And believe it or not, at one point I was actually pretty good at that. You could put a gun to my head right now, and I couldn't play any of that stuff. You know, when you get to a certain age, you just lose dexterity anyway for some of that stuff. But my point is, you had to practice the sequence, like these sequences, like these 3-note per string sequences on 2 strings. It was just all these little things up and down the neck. So that's one thing I did take away from all that was like these things like that. It's just a lot slower these days, right? You know, there's no rush to play such a metronome and try and play as fast as you can. So find these little sequences. Here's another one. Let's see here. This is, again, these are all simple riffs, little cool ideas. You know what? Scratch that one. That doesn't work over that. I was thinking of this other little lick here. Let's see here. Here's what I want to do. Yeah, don't leave that in there. Mistake. Sometimes you hear things in your head that don't work. But I was gonna play this lick, and I play this all the time. You know, again, Jimmy Griffin, 5 riffs, right? Sean McGarry, this is one of my 5 riffs. Okay, I use this all the time, and I got it from Neil Sean. Okay, in Lights, his solo Lights. Take a listen to that. I don't know what key he does it. I think it's. And it may not even be it exactly, but I remember learning that years ago. And I stole this lick, and it's such a great lick. Right? So I'll play something like that, you know. Check it out. I played it more like an exercise there. You have to kind of mess with your phrasing. But again, you have these licks. So I want to show you that lick. And that's going right down the pentatonic. You can keep going if you want, but like... Okay, another idea for phrasing is, again, he's like, let's see. Right up the scale, again, here's your minor pentatonic. You know, and here's another thing, you know, a lot of people, when they learn the minor pentatonic, they get stuck in this box. Now, this is not rocket science, and hopefully you all know this, but like, you know, this box right here, and man, you know, again, sorry to ramble on. I to this day I don't know all the boxes. Okay, my students come in with like, is that position 1, position 2, position 3? I don't know. I didn't learn it like that. I learned my own system of playing, and that's how I play. I think of this as position 1 or box 1 of the minor pentatonic. Somebody's probably going to correct me. It may not be. Then I'll go up here. Some people say, isn't that position 1? I guess probably. If I was smart, I would call it position 1. But in my brain, I just think of it up here. But when I went right here, that's position 2, right? In my book. Again, my book is not always correct. But either way, the notes are right. At the end of the day, it's all the same. So all I do is I start right here. I start outside of the box, so I go. And by the way, this is one of the best little exercises that you can do, and also to kind of get you out of a rut of playing. So like, I'll play this, it's just still minor pentatonic, it's these notes. But watch this, I'll start on G, and there's no rule that says you have to start on a root note. You don't have to start on A. I could, but I'm gonna go. Resolve on A. There's your triad. But look how much ground you covered, and you didn't stay in that same box. And what happens is, and people say, well, why do you do that? What's the point? Well, I'll tell you the point. The point is when you play something, with different fingerings, you're going to phrase differently. And that's the fact. So if you place things in one shape in one direction, your licks are going to be like that all the time. But when you change the fingerings around, you have no choice but to change the way you phrase things because the fingerings are different. I don't know if it makes sense, but just try it and it will make sense. So over this, if I went, let's see here. So you just develop this flow and this phrases when you start playing these licks. I'll show you one or two more riffs here. Here's another one I use all the time. Again, these are my five riffs that I use all the time. When I'm playing like in a minor, I add the minor, you could call it the minor 9 or the minor 2nd. It's just the B note of the, right? So this note is not in minor pentatonic, but it's in your natural minor. So here's the minor pentatonic. Right, everybody knows that. And these are the notes you took out, so if we add them back in, it's this. That's one of them. Okay, and that note is also up here, but here's the whole scale of natural minor. Right, so over that's a great note. Now I love this because it sounds kind of jazzy. You slide 1/2 up to that B note, so you approach it a half step back. Check it out. So it's kind of like before the beat comes in, I would do like a pickup note, so got off a little bit, but like, but that's just that lick, that little slide up. And this is kind of cool too, like if you look at it like this. Well, I'm coming back a D-shaped G triad, look at that. So that, all the notes of G, the D-shaped G are in the minor pentatonic, or that natural minor lick I played. So one more time. Slide up to the minor 9, which is a half step. Come back that G, which is really a D shape, right? Back down the minor scale, resolving on A. Couple more ideas here, and then we'll wrap the session up. But like, try chords. You know what I mean, like little thirds. So check this out. I'll try something like this. I'll go. So again, you're playing right out of the chord shape. There's your A minor. There's your third, your harmony. Won't get too deep into this right now, but we'll, you know, I've done lessons on this, and we'll continue it more. But these little harmonies are inside of the chords. And you're just going up the scale. You know, you're taking each note of the scale, and you're going to be a third away, a minor or major third, right? Listen how nice that sounds. So if you play an A note, now I can't do the open string there because there's no A sharp string, but I just move everything up a half step. So again, half step, and then mess around with it. Try and make it sound a little musical, little slides and just variations of it. So that's a really great way to practice. Again, just take any chord progression and go up a half step. It's kind of a cool idea. You know, you can go up a whole step. I'll get into this more because key changes is such a cool thing, and you know, a lot of great guitar players will do that. They'll modulate keys and stuff, and it's just kind of an epic sounding thing. So there's tons of ideas and tons of topics with this, but this will get you started. So guys and girls, thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you immensely. Please check out my Rhythm of Life videos I've been putting out. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Trying to put out shorts every day now, those little short reels, so be on the lookout for those. And I promise that the by the first of the year should be my my Patreon page up and running. I haven't figured all the details out as far as price, but it's going to have a couple bonus lessons a week with backing tracks and stuff to practice all this stuff. So for a nominal price, you can, you know, take all the stuff home with you and dive more into it. So anyway, thanks as always for watching. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time on here.